Hello Blood Bowl fans, and welcome to another live stream and video where we will be looking at the Invitational teams. The music at the start of these videos is kind of a little test thing for me. If you don't like it on YouTube, please do let me know. I'm going to keep doing it live because it's a way of making sure that people actually come when the video starts, as opposed to me starting and then people joining 5 minutes later. But if you don't like it on the videos, I have been leaving information how you can skip the music in chat, but let me know if you don't want to hear it anymore. And sorry, something's exploding in the background. I can't really do much about that at the moment. So, alright then. Having a look at what we got so far then. The round actually rolled on Friday because the last game was played, or was it Saturday? I don't remember. It was one of those 2 days though. Now we're actually going to have a look at how the first round went and the teams as they stand. Some games have already been played because, like I said, the rollover was on, well, at the weekend it happened. So some games have, of course, already been played, including one in this very division. Also, later on tonight, we are live with the final of the Mixed League, so we have that to look forward to as well. Tonight being the 19th, no, not the 19th, what? Sorry, the 7th of February. 2018, so if you're watching this video after the fact, then we're probably not live tonight with the mixed final, but if you're watching it on the day of recording, then we are live with that, myself and D-Man. This is kind of weird. I think my stream has stopped for some reason. Hang on, there we go, we're up. Right, so let's get to it then. Starting with, of course, Division A. In Division A, then, the Elves of Shannara took on the Delicate Little Pansies, and the Delicate Little Pansies managed to win 3-2. I believe this was actually an Elf-off, Wood Elves against High Elves, but to be honest, it may take me a week or two to get used to who's who again, so just bear with me on that in that regard. Dresden Files, definitely an undead team, took on second-rate Skaven, which is definitely an Underworld team, and the Underworld won 2-0. And Howling Hairballs went 1-1 against Old Navy Reserve 11. And I'm pretty sure that's Humans against Necromantic. So, let's have a look at the 6 teams as they stand. Actually, let's not. Let's have a look at this week's schedule first. So, second-rate Skaven take on Elves of Shannara. Delicate Little Pansies take on Howling Hairballs. That game's already happened. And Dresden Files take on Old Navy Reserve number 11. So let's have a look at this game first. Second-rate Skaven, Elves of Shannara. Okay, so second-rate Skaven, led by one of my favourite new coaches to the roster, just because he's so well known, Gerbear. And I would recommend not asking where Gerbear is from, because nobody can figure it out, and he's actually quite secretive about it. It is a game. When you hear him speak, see if you can figure out which country he originates from. So, second-rate Skaven, the Underworld team, currently at 1020 TV. One day I'll build my own gutter runner. I believe you, Gerber. I believe you. The team as it stands then. Most pieces are still rookies. We do have a minus agility goblin, which is not really the end of the world, though I wouldn't be surprised if he does get replaced. And there's a Mighty Blow Skaven Blitzer. The second Blitzer is also 1 SPP away from leveling. So overall, that's some pretty good development on the team actually. All of the development went to the 2 Blitzers, who are of course the star players in the Underworld roster. Well, I suppose depending on what you think. If he didn't have the Apothecary before, he does have the Apothecary now, and we're on 3 team rerolls, and we've gained a fan factor as well because of the win, I guess. I think Apothecary was the purchase this game, but I'm not 100% sure. So 1020 Underworld take on these Elves of Shannara, led by Braun, with the For Shannara motto, 990 TV, and 80k in the bank, so no levels on this team yet. No, there is a level, but we're still at 990. Interesting. Just the 1 team reroll. Now it makes perfect sense. That's a little bit worrying on an elf team. I guess that's what we're saving up for with this 80k, is a second team reroll. Maybe the Apothecary was bought. So it's an interesting decision on one side. Both Blitz are rookies, but one of them did get the MVP. So he is 1 SPP away from leveling. There's also a catcher that did manage to level up, and he now has block, so he's slightly safer as a piece on the field, less likely to get killed. Definitely not impossible, but definitely less likely. Also, I guess we've had 2 injuries, each of them on a lineman. Delivered injuries, I mean. And there's a thrower who managed to score, it looks like, or passed and did an injury, one or the other. So I think it was 3-2 with this game, so maybe actually 2 touchdowns for the catcher and 1 for the thrower. Yeah, missing the team reroll is really going to be a problem for these high elves. They need to get that second reroll going as quickly as possible, or to level up the thrower and get leader at the very least. So, team is a little bit worrying in that regard. And in the matchup against Gerber, I like high elves as the race, but I like Gerber as the coach, because Ron is still fairly inexperienced. I hope he doesn't mind me saying that. So, it's going to be an interesting game in that regard, because it could go either way. Now, having a look at the delicate little pansies taking on the howling hairballs, this game has already been played. That's Meshuggah against Undo, Necromantic against Wood Elves. Having a look at the Wood Elves first then, and having a look at them after 2 games. Keep that in mind. They are at 1010 TV. There's 100k in the bank. And there are 2 pieces missing from the roster. Oh dear. Normal Wood Elf life though. So, that's quite a lot of levels for 2 games. We've got a block on a catcher, a strip ball on a war dancer, a mighty blow on a war dancer, and a dodge on a lineman. There's also 2 SPP on another lineman, then 4 rookies. 2 team rerolls, the Apothecary, and Fan Factor of 2 for winning both games. So the Wood Elves are doing what Wood Elves do, basically. They're leveling, they're growing, and they're dying. Not much more I can say about that team, really. It's a pretty straightforward build, and yeah, they're developing at a rate that Undo should be happy with at the moment. And Meshuggah's howling hairballs, relive at Dead Rock. So we got 2 wolves, 2 whites, yeah, okay. 950 TV. There's a white that's injured after this game, I guess we've missed next game, but he could be niggled, so let's have a look. He has just missed next game, so he's out for the next one. The other white has actually already managed to level. He's got tackle. Then we've got all rookies, but there's been a score on a werewolf that he's sitting on 3 SPP. Flesh Golem has done an injury for 2 SPP, and we've had a man of the match on both whites, I guess, in 2 games. 1 is man of the match and a touchdown. 2 team rerolls in the team, and they have managed to pick up 1 fan factor. So as far as the Necromantic team goes, they're looking okay. Not too bad to start off with. And then the last match of this round, coming this week, Dresden Files, the Undead team, taking on the Old Navy Reserves, the human team. Starting with Dresden Files, led by Dark Shadows, who has recently been promoted to Nadiko's Chosen, so congratulations Dark Shadows. 1020 TV. Let's have a look at the development after game 1. There's 4 SPP on a zombie. That looks like 2 injuries, unless there was some kind of magic passing action with the zombie and a touchdown, but I'm going to go for 2 injuries. And then the mummy got man of the match and managed to cause an injury, so he leveled up and got guard. Fantastic start for Dresden Files then. 8k in the bank, full team roster, and 3 rerolls. Yeah, the team is going places. It's going to be interesting to see if the whites actually level up, because it's been a recurring theme in my league so far that whites refuse to level, so it'll be interesting to see if these 2 do actually manage to get some SPP, and of course the white on the Necromantic team here has already leveled, so the curse has been broken. And he's up against Ninjabread Man and his human team, Old Navy Reserve 11. Any port in the storm, 1010 TV, 60k in the bank. Don't have the Apothecary yet, so I guess that's where the 60k is going. The Ogre managed to cause 2 injuries, so he's relatively close to leveling. We got a touchdown on a blitzer, and man of the match went to a lineman. So nothing too exciting on the team, but I mean they're humans. They're not generally exciting, but they're still problematic to play against. So after 1 game, we can be fairly happy with that development, I guess. Nothing too exciting, nothing too abysmal either. So there we go. That's it for Division A. Having looked at the leaderboard then, keeping in mind that two teams have played 2 games. Undo sits at the top with 2 wins. Gerber is in second with 1 win. The humans are in third, led by Ninja Bread Man with 1 draw. The Necromantics of Meshuggah are 0-1-1, and the High Elves and Undeads are both at the bottom, led by Rawn and Dark Shadows with 1 loss each. Good luck to the rest of you who have to play in this week's round. Alright, we're going to have a look at Division B, and I do apologise, this is slightly unprofessional, but I do need to blow my nose. So I'm just going to leave the last week's schedule up here for 1 second. I will be right back. Sorry about that, it's the effect of coming in from minus 25 degrees outside and a blizzard, so apologies for that short delay. So this week then we had the FC Dawn City Donors going 0-4 against the Imperators. I actually saw this game and it was really hard. That was Saimar against Andes. Humans against Vampires. Humans getting the win. Guratapasi against my Ogre Eaters. This is Seesaw against me. It was another tough match. Also a big score difference with 4-1 to the Dark Elves against my Ogres. And Rivertown Daisies, the Chaos team, went 0-1 against Cannibal Roses that I want to say are Amazons. I'm pretty sure they're Amazons, so there's a win for them there as well. We should do a quick check of chat as well, actually. Let's do that very quickly. No, nothing? Interesting. It says I'm offline. Why? I'm not offline. Let me just refresh my Twitch. Well, it is recording either way, but a bit surprised by that, saying I'm offline. Alright, well, we're probably looking at just a video then, in that case. Because there's no reason for me to be offline, but apparently I am. So there we go. Right then. Carrying on. Next week's games. Yes, that's the way. Next week's games. We've got Cannibal Roses taking on FC Dawn City Donors, which is Amazons against Vampires, I believe. Rivertown Daisies, the Chaos team of Chris J, take on my Ogre Eaters. Guratapasi, the Dark Elves, take on Imperators, the Humans. Let's have a look what's going on there then. Starting with Doc Mark against Saimar. So Doc Mark's Cannibal Roses then, sitting at 10-10. Amazon team. No levels yet, but there has been quite a lot of development. We've got 3 team rerolls and an apothecary. 8k in the bank, so pretty sure we already had them before. We've also gained the fan factor. All 4 blitzers are still rookies, of course, because nothing's leveled, though one of them did manage to score, giving them 3 SPP, and one managed an injury, giving them 2 SPP. The woman of the match went to the catcher, and there's a line woman who also caused an injury, so quite a lot of SPP, but no levels just yet. Still, it's a fairly standard build for Amazons, and I'm sure we'll see them develop over the coming games. And their opponent this week is the Vampire team FC Dawn City Donors, sitting at 10-20, so not much difference there. Blood of the Dragons run through our veins. I haven't been doing all the mottos, but I'm trying to remember. We've got 3 vampires and lots of thralls, as always. One is actually out. Pretty sure it's just missed next game. Yes, it is. And this was a tough game for Saimar, so I don't think there's going to be too much development. The missed next game actually got man of the match, because of course he did. And another thrall managed an injury, giving him 2 SPP, so only 7 SPP after the first game. That's a little tough. 4 team rerolls and an apothecary. Interesting to see if they can recover from their early defeat. Only 10k in the bank, so we've got nothing to spend either, unfortunately. That's all I can really say about that round though. And Chris J's Chaos against my Ogres then. 3 Chaos Hugs every match. Chaos Hugs sound great, to be honest. 840 TV, so there's been some damage done here. It looks like Dead Warrior, and I'm sure there was a Dead Warrior actually, and only 30k in the bank, so we can't replace the Warrior, and we can't pick up the Apothecary. That's a bit of a rough start for Chris. At least he didn't get man of the match though. The Beastman at the bottom here got man of the match, so at least a little bit of help there. And there's another Beastman here who has been injured with missed next game. That's the only development that we have on the team. So that's how that stands. Alright then. And the last matchup is Seesaw's Dark Elves against Andy's Humans. I didn't look at my own team, did I? Sorry, let's do that first. My Ogres first of all, taking on the Chaos team we just looked at. 40k in the bank. I have managed to pick up the Apothecary as well, and I have a Noblar out, which is of course a disaster. Nothing worse than losing a Noblar in an Ogre team. Oh my god. He is on miss next game. Otherwise, we got a little bit of development because we did cause an injury with an Ogre, we did get MVP on a Noblar, and we did score a touchdown with a Noblar, though I was trying to score touchdowns with the Ogres for the rest of the match. In some regards, it kind of cost me the match actually, trying so hard to score on an Ogre. But, well, you live and learn. And the thing that I learned basically is that I suck as playing real Ogres. Good thing to know. Alright then, and the last matchup, as I said, Seesaw against Andes. The Dark Elf team are at 1090 TV, 60k in the bank. No Apothecary yet, so we may see that bought before the next matchup. And because they were playing the Ogres and they scored lots, they injured a few, you can imagine there's quite a lot of development here. The Witch Elf has actually leveled and got block by scoring 2 touchdowns. A Blitzer also managed to get 6 SPP and has got Agility Plus. There was also a touchdown on one of the other Blitzers, so he's got 3 SPP. And a lineman, I'm pretty sure he got man of the match in a pass, giving him a level up for dodge. And 2 more injuries caused on 2 linemen, so it's a fantastic start for the Dark Elves, and a rough time for the rest of the group as a result. And their opponent, who also had a fantastic starting game, the Humans, the Imperators, at 1050. Also no Apothecary, but he can't afford it. All 4 Blitzers, of course. One got man of the match, the other one managed to cause an injury. We got both catches with block, because they scored all their touchdowns, I guess. The thrower has 2 SPP, and 2 of the linemen also have 2 SPP, looking like it came from injuries. In the thrower's case, maybe from passes. I can't exactly remember, but Andy's is not really big on passing, so I guess all injuries there. And that's that. Let me just see if I can get Twitch up and running one more time, because I do tend to check chat in between. So instead, let's just try refreshing Internet Explorer completely, because it's a bit weird that I'm not live actually, because it says I'm streaming. So let's have a quick look at that. And nope, according to my end, I'm definitely offline. So if you are in chat and talking to me, sorry, I can't see it. I'll try and fix it after this stream. Right then, moving on to Division C. C. Where are we? Come on. Division C actually hadn't rolled, so I apologize to the coaches if you did want to play before now. I was informed today, literally before I started this stream, non-stream, that it wasn't rolled, so I've rolled it now. And this round then, Pick Your Poison, which I'm pretty sure is a Nurgle team, went 0-1 against Snow White's Nightmare, which I'm positive is a Chaos Dwarf team. Goodbye to Gravity, the Kislev team went 2-1 against Exponential Smugness, which is a High Elf team, I believe. No, it's not. It's a Elf Union team. And Falum Glowbottlers, the Dwarf team, went 2-1 against Death Gods Can't Die, which is an Undead team. There they are. So, the Chaos Dwarf Snow White's Nightmare take on Death Gods Can't Die, the Undead team. Foulham Globewaddlers, the Dwarfs, take on the Elven Union team Exponential Smugness. Goodbye to Gravity, the Kislev team, take on the Nurgle Pick Your Poison. Let's have a look at the actual matchups then. What was the first one? Snow White, Death Gods. Okay, so starting with Manasatra and his Chaos Dwarfs. Snow White's Nightmare. An apple, fair lady. We're sitting at 1040 TV. 2 rerolls and Apothecary with Fan Factor gained. One of the Bull Centaurs managed to score a touchdown, so he has free SPP. Everybody is still a rookie though. We have all 6 Chaos Dwarf blockers in this roster. One of them did get man of the match. And we have a Hobgoblin who managed to pass. Yeah, it can only be a pass. Who managed to pass in the game. So apparently there was a pass in the game. I'm going to guess a vanity pass considering the coach, but hard to say for certain without looking back and watching it. That's the Chaos Dwarfs, and they take on the Undead team of Mego. Death Gods Can't Die. Sitting at 900 TV because a ghoul is out. A ghoul is out with minus movement. Ouch. He may be fired. He may not be, but he may be fired. So, not a lot of development here. We got a touchdown on the ghoul that's not injured, and man of the match went to a zombie called Banshee, which is a fantastic name for a zombie. I can only imagine a zombie scream being as beautiful as you would possibly have ever heard in your life. No fan factor, because I guess we lost the game. Again, no development on whites, so maybe the curse continues for everybody but Meshuggah. Alright then, the second matchup was the Foulham and the Exponential. Okay, so looking at Exponential Smugness, the anime rejects of Stauticus in their blue, yellow and black. We've got quite a lot of SPP, but spread across multiple pieces. So man of the match went to one of the blitzers. The other blitzer caused an injury. There's a catcher that managed to score, and the thrower also got 2 SPP, I guess, causing an injury too. 3 team rerolls and an Apothecary, nothing left in the bank after that. Also, something is dead, because there's only 10 players. Sorry, lost my voice. And their opponent is Haringzor's Dwarfs. Haringzor's Dwarfs, if I'm going to say it like that. Little guys can play ball too, sitting at 10-10. Sounds like Tintin, but less than you'd imagine. And no level ups again. No Apothecary yet either, though we can afford it, so interesting to see whether he actually spends the money on that. So the runner got 1 SPP for a pass, one of the runners. Another runner managed to score, so that's always fun on Dwarfs. One of the blitzers also managed to score. The other blitzer managed to cause an injury. One of the Dwarf Longbeards got man of the match, and the other Dwarf Longbeard managed to cause an injury. So quite a lot of SPP, but no levels yet on the Dwarf team. And last up then, D-Man's Goodbye to Gravity. The Kislev team that have escaped from a goblin prison. We got a blitzer getting man of the match. 1 level on the catcher, he's got dodge, I guess that's 2 touchdowns. And the lineman managed to cause an injury, giving him 2 SPP. 2 team rerolls, no Apothecary yet, but 80k in the bank, so we might see one bought. I'm a bit surprised that there's no bear on D-Man's team, but only a little bit surprised. And then lastly, his opponent, Evil Alive's Nurgle. Pick your poison. 880 TV, so I guess we lost something. We lost a Pestigore actually, I remember this. And a Rotter. So Pestigore is dead and a Rotter is out with minus agility and of course a second injury. Second injury must have been badly hurt or missed next game. It must have been badly hurt because it's not registered at all. 2 team rerolls in the team, 40k in the bank, so we're not replacing the dead Pestigore. In terms of SPP, we've just got the man of the match on a Nurgle warrior. At least it went to the right piece, but that's a bit of a shame that there's not been too much development. So 5 SPP team at the moment. Not the best start for the Nurglings there. Oh, leaderboard. I didn't look at B's leaderboard, did I? Oh well, we'll come back to that in a second. So, At the top, we've got D-Man, Herringzord, and Manasatra with 1 win each. That's Kislev, Dwarf, and Chaos Dwarf. Elven Union, Undead, Nurgle, led by Stouticus, Mego, and Evil Live, are in second with 1 loss each. Let's go back and have a look at B's leaderboard too, because I didn't do that. So for B's leaderboard, Andes, Ciso, and Docmark are at the top with 1 win apiece. Human, Dark Elf, Amazon, and Chaos Ogre, Vampire, Chris J, myself, and Saimar are in second with 1 loss apiece. Moving on to Division D. So in Division D then, Hesiod's Harlots, the second Amazon team, went 1-1 against the Means of Production, which I believe is the second Kislev team. The Mighty Meteors, I want to say High Elves, went 0-1 against Children of Manicorn, which are Norse. Speedy and Gonzalez, the Skaven team, went 0-2 against Draft Punks. And I'm sorry, but I can't remember what Draft Punks are. So let's have a look what we got. Draft Punks are Dwarves, of course they are. Sorry, 130. Nothing personal. And Mighty Meteors were High Elves. Sure thing. This week then, we got the Amazons taking on the Skaven. Nice matchup. The Dwarves taking on the High Elves. The Norse taking on what I believe is Chaos. Let's just double check it is Chaos. Kislev, and it is Kislev, yes. Okay, so first matchup was the Amazons against the Skaven. So starting with Doom's Skaven, Speedy and Gonzalez. Sitting at 860, so something's dead. Yeah, pretty beaten up team actually. We got a dead lineman, I guess, and a Storm Vermin is actually out as well with Miss Next Game. That's a bit of a hard loss. The man of the match went to the thrower, so at least it's a positional, and a second lineman did get 2 SPP for causing an injury, I guess. 3 team rerolls and an apothecary with 30k in the bank, so we're going to be playing with a loner in our matchup coming up against the Amazons, led by Weave. Hesiod's Harlots sitting at 1070. It's one of the highest TVs we've seen so far, for one game at least. 3 team rerolls and an apothecary already, and one of the blitzers has leveled, getting Mighty Blow. That looks like Woman of the Match and an injury, so good job there. Catcher scored a touchdown, and second catcher caused an injury. Oh yeah, this was the team with full positionals. Very interesting, to start with at least, on an Amazon team. But apparently it's working for Weave, and considering what I've seen of Weave so far, he has proven himself a very capable coach, so not going to question it. Yeah, good looking team with 1 Mighty Blow already. Next up then we had the Dwarfs against the High Elves. So starting with 130's Dwarfs, sitting at 1030 with 60k in the bank. One more time being the motto, of course. We've got Runner leveled up and has been given Pass Block. My first thought is that that is a misclick and it should have been block, but it's not actually the worst choice you can give to a Dwarf Runner, so maybe that was intentional. Both blitzers have got block, and their man of the match went got block. Of course they have, sorry. Both blitzers have got 2 SPP, I meant to say, and Do It, the Longbeard, has got MVP. So no apothecary yet, but I guess that's where the money's going to go, and 3 team rerolls. Both dwarf teams have refused to buy the apothecary so far. I know that it is something that some dwarf coaches hold off on though. Then lastly in this round we've got the Children of Manicorn, the Norse team led by Darth Physicist, in which we have a very pink looking team. Sorry, there was a long motto there. Let's have a look. Party like a unicorn, farting glitter rainbows. Yeah, quite. Sitting at 1070 as well. So, man of the match went to an Ultheriner, but he hasn't managed to level. A touchdown on Sexual Chocolate. Fabulous Frank managed to cause an injury, because of course he did. And he has the best beard, so it makes perfect sense. That's all of the development on the Norse team. 3 team rerolls, 10k in the bank, so we're not buying the apothecary just yet. And lastly, his opponent then, Varksen, with second Kislev team, the means of production. Nothing can stop us. 870. Team value, 40k in the bank, no apothecary yet, 4 team rerolls. Man of the match went to a catcher, which is where he wants to go. Or a lineman actually. Two of them have 5, so one of them got man of the match, one of them got a touchdown and injury. The second catcher is out injured as well. He is sitting with miss next game. I am not at all surprised that Varksen does not have a bear, but we're going to be playing with 2 loners this second matchup, so it's going to be interesting to see if he can come back from that cleanly. Having a look at the leaderboard in this group then, Division D, the Dwarfs and Norse sit at the top with 1 win apiece, that's led by 130 and Dar Physicist. Weave and Varksen sit in second place as they drew their match, that's Amazons against Kislev, and the High Elves and Skaven, led by Monkey Chunks and Doom, sit in third with 1 loss apiece. Alright then, on to Division E. Two games have already been played in Division E, if that's okay. So Starry Fight, I want to say Orcs took on Made in Zarnagrund, I want to say Chaos Dwarfs. Regen Please, which is a Necromantic team, went 0-2 against Totally Fun team, which is a Nurgle team. And Cruel Etegers went 1-3 against Trading AV for Power. Trading AV for Power is definitely Wood Elves. I don't remember what CE is, let's have a look. So, Orc, Chaos Dwarf, Nurgle, Wood Elf, Chaos, and Necromantic. Yes, so Chaos was the remaining team that I couldn't remember. 2 games have already been played. The Chaos have already taken on the Orcs, and they went 1-1. And the Necromantic had a bit of a tough time against the Wood Elves, going 1-4. The Chaos Dwarves still have to play against Nurgle, so that's the one match that's left over. Let's have a look at the teams as they stand then, starting with the Chaos and the Orcs. Doom's Cruel Eteger, I'm not sure how to say it. Senom de qui, nah, yeah, I'm not doing French right now, just can't do it. I've got Russian in my head, so it's not going to happen. 970 TV. So, Nerdfrog got man of the match, Chaos Warrior, leaving him 1 SPP away from leveling. One of the Beastmen leveled up with 8, and he's been given block. Another Beastman, of course, there have been 2 games, so yes, we have 2 man of the matches here, and some other SPP. It's all gone to 3 pieces though, all of it. Beastman and Chaos Warrior on 5 SPP, another Beastman leveled up and been given block. And the injury is a niggle, so the other 5 SPP pieces niggled. It's a bit of a rough ride for Alucard there. And still no Apothecary after 2 games, that's kind of surprising. 3 team rerolls though. I'm intrigued as to what he spent his money on after the first game, and he's still only got 10k, so no Apothecary even potentially after the 3rd game, unless we roll well enough with the post-match roll. And his opponent was Rembleby, and the Orcs gonna paint the town red, they say, wearing blue. Exactly 1000 TV after 2 games. 3 team rerolls and Apothecary. A Blitzer is injured with minus movement. I clicked on him, I didn't have to. But he's also got Mighty Blow. A second Blitzer too has Mighty Blow with 10 SPP. We've got a 3rd Blitzer who has managed to score a touchdown. 2 Black Orcs with 5 SPP, and the rest are on 0. So 2 lots of Mighty Blow already after 2 games, and team value of exactly 1000 with 1 Blitzer missing, which is not something you see very often with Orcs. That's low TV considering that there's been some development. 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, the team is full. But we'll be playing with 1 lineman in the next matchup. The second game was the Necromantics taking on the Wood Elves. So starting with Poncho's Wood Elves, because I just got there first. Trading AV for power. 920 after 2 games. 1 team reroll, 1 Apothecary. Righto. I'm pretty sure this team did have 2 War Dancers. That means that a War Dancer is dead. There's 2 catchers, both of them have leveled, one with 12 SPP, one with 6. They both have block. The thrower has also leveled and been given leader. A lineman has 5 SPP and a catcher has 3 SPP and an injury. And the injury is just missed next game, so he will be back and fighting fit for the next one. And then Blissful Fire's Necromantic team. Regen, please. Come on, give me some zombies. 1090 TV after 2 games. 2 team rerolls. And spread of SPP, but no levels yet. So 2 on a werewolf, 3 on a werewolf, 2 on a flesh golem, 5 and 5 on 2 zombies, and that's it. And there is a ghoul in the team that wasn't there before. Oh dear. And 2 team rerolls, but I think I said that. And the last matchup then, the game that hasn't been played yet, so after 1 game, Nerdfrog and Carlisips, Chaos Dwarves and Nurgle respectively. Chaos Dwarves sit with 950 TV, Forged in Hellfire is their nickname, their motto, sorry. Ouch, they've been hurt. There's a piece that's dead, and there's a piece that is injured. With a niggle, that's a Hobgoblin, and I guess a Hobgoblin is dead as well. So 2 Hobgoblins took the defensive blows. Man of the match went to Chaos Dwarf Blocker, and Bull Centaur managed a pass. That's always fun. Apothecary has been bought as well. And then Totally Fun team, the Nurgle team led by Carlisips, at Carlisips Discord. Sure. And it's a pretty broken team. There's 2 pieces missing. If there... oh no, there's still a Pesticle. Okay. If there was a 4th Nurgle Warrior, the Nurgle Warrior is dead, and I guess Erota is also dead. So that's a tough start. Man of the match went to Beast of Nurgle though, so that's always nice. And the Pesticle leveled up, I guess, with 2 touchdowns, and he has Mighty Blow and Terrifying Eyes, and they sit at 880 with 2 loners in their next matchup, and 2 team rerolls. Having a look at their leaderboard then, in Division E, Poncho sits at the top with 2 wins and his Wood Elves. Rumblebee's Orcs are in second with 1-1-0. The Nurgle team of Carlisips are in third currently with 1 win. The Chaos team in fourth with 0-1-1. The Chaos Dwarfs in fifth with 0-0-1, and Blissful Fire's Necromantic team sit at the bottom, unfortunately, with 2 losses. 2 more divisions to go, F and G. So, F is all the way at the beginning, of course it is. On to F. So in terms of the schedule, we had a 5-0 Skaven against Norse? I want to say Norse. A 2-0 with Orcs against Khemri, and a 2-1 with Lizardmen, and I'm not sure what Rabbit Miners are. They may be... I don't know. The Howling Wargs are indeed Norse, and the Rabbit Miners, of course, they're Underworld. Sorry, James Typhoon. So let's have a look at this week's rounds. The Norse team take on the Lizard team, the Underworld team take on the Orc team, and the Khemri team take on the Skaven team. Let's have a look at the first round then. Lizards against Norse. So Storm Raiders, Mad Cold Blood, the Lizard team, with the team motto Proxagor's caused an injury, so he has 2 SPP. Saurus is out injured, but he did get man of the match, and the injury is just a miss next game, so it's not the end of the world. There's a 2 SPP on a second Saurus, and 2 touchdowns each on a Skink, and another injury on a Skink, so pretty decent distribution of SPP after the first game. 0 in the bank and no Apothecary. It actually looks like he's bought an extra Skink, which is a bit of a surprise. But what can I say? 2 team rerolls in the team as well. And his opponent will be the Norse team led by Magnus K, also known as Magnus the Mad. And again, a very pink looking Norse team. And this team has a Yeti. 1 team reroll. And an Apothecary after the first game. nothing left in the bank though. A Zerker has got 2 SPP. A lineman has got 2 SPP, and man of the match also went to a lineman, so not too much development on this team just yet. That one team reroll might really hurt this team, so want to get a second one as quickly as possible. And no thrower, so we can't even pick up a free leader. Interesting. Let's just stick with interesting, sure. And Rabid Miners against Madmail, that's Orc and Underworld, starting with the Orcs because they're first in the list. Markmail, the reigning champion. His Orcs with Bah as the team motto, sit at 930. No Apo yet, 90k in the bank though, so we may see it bought. 2 SPP on a Black Orc, a Blitzer with man of the match, another Blitzer with 7, but he hasn't rolled his level up yet, a lineman with 5, and a lineman that is out injured with miss next game. So not too much to say about this team. 3 team rerolls, and I suspect that the Apothecary is coming. And the lineman will be replaced by a loner, so I don't see the need to replace him financially for a miss next game. His opponent will be the Underworld Denizens, sitting at 940 TV. Rabid Miners, led by James Typhoon. 3 team rerolls and an Apothecary. A Skaven lineman is out with minus agility. Other than that, we've got some SPP spread. Man of the match went to a Goblin. There was a touchdown on a Skaven thrower, and a Skaven Blitzer caused an injury. So not too much development on this team yet, but at least it's mostly gone to positionals. Though losing a positional to minus agility sucks a little bit as well. He may end up becoming a backup line fodder as a result. 30k in the bank, so no replacements coming just yet. Then last matchup we have Sparkle Rats led by Pixie Dust. Shiny being the team motto, 960 TV, 3 team rerolls and an Apothecary. The Thrower managed an injury, got 2 SPP. One of the Gutter Runners got man of the match, that's always nice. Other Gutter Runner managed to score a touchdown. Gutter Runner number 3 has actually leveled up, and he hasn't rolled his level yet. Gutter Runner number 4 has also scored a touchdown. Storm Vermin number 2 has also scored a touchdown, and then there's an injury on a Line Rat, and it's just a miss next game. That's a really good start for Skaven actually, that's a fantastic first game. Interesting to see how well this team develop, and we're likely to see them as KO contenders, along with a couple other teams we've seen already, but I've mentioned it for the first time now for some reason. And the Rats take on the Khemri of Hummersep, who for some reason only have 3 Tomb Guard. Interesting. They sit at 990. Yeah, there's really only 3 Tomb Guardians. Maybe one was lost. Doesn't look like it. Oh, there's 3 team rerolls in the team, and in terms of development, man of the match went to a Skeleton. That's a shame. Another Skeleton caused an injury, and one of the Tomb Guardians also caused an injury, so 225. 50k in the bank, so we could buy a bench if we wanted to, which might be helpful against Orcs, I guess. Not Orcs, Skaven. It's something useful against Skaven, fair enough. So that's how those teams look. Having a look at the leaderboard after round 1 then. So the Skaven, Orc and Lizardman of Pixie Dust, Markmail and Storm Raider respectively are at top with 1 win each. The Underworld Denizens, Khemri and Norse, led by James Typhoon, Hummersep and Madness K, respectively, sit in second with a loss apiece. And then we've got one more round, round G. G. Where is the G? There it is. So, last week's round. My vampires that have actually dropped from the league now because I had a coach to replace me went 1-1 against Grey Fox's Khemri team. The Cowboys on the Sea, don't remember what they are, went 0-1 against the Bosses of Burt Souls, which are Bretonians. And the Half-Blacks, the Halfling team, went 3-0 against the Goblin team, short and sweet. That was quite an interesting game to watch actually, I saw most of it. What are Cowboys on the Sea? Where are they? They're Dark Elves. Okay. Sorry, Tyladris. I could not remember what your team was. And Fallen Glory and his Lizardmen have stepped into this division of very squishy things, so really lucky there, Fallen. You managed to come in at the right time with the right team for sure. And this week's round then. The Khemri take on the Dark Elves. The... what were Glorious Fossils? I forget. Not doing well with this one, am I? Glorious Fossils are Lizardmen. Right, they're the new team. Their new team, the Lizards, take on the Halflings. Ouch. But at least the Halflings are really happy after one win. And the Boss of Bird Soul, the Bretonians, take on the Goblins. Short and sweet. Let's have a look how it looks then. Starting with the Dark Elves of Tyladris, the Cowboys on the Sea with no motto. They sit at exactly 1000 TV. 2 team rerolls, no Apothecary yet, and we can't afford to buy it. The Witch Elf is a rookie, everybody's a rookie, but we do have Man of the Match. That's the only SBP that was gained on a lineman. That's a bit sad for a Dark Elf team, that's not what you want to see after game 1. But that's how it stands. Then his opponent is going to be the Khemri of Grey Fox, Marak Marauders, and Marring On at 1010 TV. And not too much SPP here either. The Furra managed to score the touchdown, so he's sitting on 3, and Man of the Match went to a Skeleton. 2 team rerolls and 2 Fan Factor. I guess Fan Factor was bought before the first game. Otherwise it doesn't make any sense. Next up then, we have the new team, the Lizards. Let's have a look at them. Glorious Fossils for the Glory. Fallen Glory. 980 TV. Obviously they haven't played a game yet, so they are a rookie team. 2 team rerolls, gone for standard Lizardman build, 1 Croxigore, 6 Saurus, 4 Skinks. Fallen Glory is quite an expert with lizards, so he's got a team that he's very familiar with in a round of teams that don't really want to fight against lizards. So, yep. Good luck, other guys who have to face him in this round. And his opponent will be the Half-Blacks. Very impressive opening game. Sitting at 630 TV, 70k in the bank. 2 team rerolls, 1 cheerleader, 1 coach assistant, 4 fan factor, no apothecary. 1 halfling is out with an injury. It is in this next game. Another halfling is out with a poor case of death. And then the tree got man of the match. That's always good. And the second tree actually caused an injury, so the 7 SPP between the trees. One of the halflings scored a touchdown, and another halfling scored a touchdown. So that's a really good start for halflings. Really good start for halflings. Though they were playing another stunty team, not to take anything away from Rylock, who I have a lot of respect for both as a person and a coach, with his goblins sitting at 940 at the moment. Everyone's got a sweet tooth. Give us yours. Nice, nice. 60k in the bank. Already got the apothecary. Got 3 team rerolls. 2 goblins are out injured. 1 with minus strength, 1 with minus movement. 1 goblin has actually leveled, got diving tackle. That's actually impressive. And that's all the SPP. So the 1 injury that was caused happened to be the MVP, and he became a diving tackle piece. Cheese break. Very nice. Still no Bombardier. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Bombardier later, but the Bombardier isn't very reliable, so I guess that's why Rylock hasn't taken him. Righto. And his opponent is going to be the Bretonian team of Cake and Grad. The last team, we're almost there. The bosses are Burt Souls. Prepare to Burt Edition. I'm sure that's a meme or something, but I don't know. I'm too old, I guess. 1040 TV. 2 team rerolls and an apothecary, 10k left, so we've already spent our bank, I guess. One of the only touchdown went to a Bretonian Blitzer, so he's sitting on 3 SPP, and one of the blockers got man of the match, and that's all of the development that the team has happened to see. And good to have Cake and Grad in the league, of course. He is the main man in Rebel Rookie League, so good to have him here as a guest. Really nice. And finally then the leaderboard for this group, we've got Viking Cops Halflings and the Bretonians of Kakengrad in first place with 1 win apiece. The Khemri and Lizardmen of Grey Fox and Fallen Glory, who has of course inherited my record, both in second place with 1 draw. And the Dark Elves and Goblins of Tyladrus and Rylock at the bottom in third place with 1 loss apiece. So if you want to watch this live, if you are watching this live, then let me know afterwards. I'll try and figure out what happened, but I don't understand what happened. So if you want to watch this live, sorry, that didn't work. But for anybody who has been watching on YouTube, I very much appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.